50%. Now, what number is this? Make a guess.
What are we talking about all of a sudden? The probability that you will eat ramen for lunch.
But it's far from correct. This is the percentage of people traveling between Odori subway station and Sapporo station who are carrying suitcases. This is just my feeling and I have no evidence for it at all.
Isn't that exaggerated? It's not that much, right?
I just wanted to say there are many more tourists in this area of our city. Interestingly, some wear down jackets this time of year, while others just wear t-shirts. If you just look at the fashion, you can't tell what season it is because of the contrast. It's interesting for me to see tourist fashion choices.
This is common for tourists. Even if you only check the temperature, you won't know what to wear. Oh, by the way, the area around the Sapporo station is currently being redeveloped in preparation for the extension of the Shinkansen.
Yes, around 2030, the Shinkansen will finally arrive to Sapporo. When it's completed, it will be possible to travel between Sapporo and Tokyo in about 4.5 hours. Well, it's faster to go to Tokyo by plane though.
That's true, but many people don't like flying.
There are often construction works going around the stations, which can be inconvenient. I'm a little worried that tourists might find it inconvenient around the station, with entrances and exits being closed down, and there being limited places to eat out. But that can be helped though.
Well, I have no idea whether tourists have had any problems with it or not.
That reminds me, I saw a survey about that recently. The Japan Tourism Agency surveyed foreign tourists visiting Japan about the problems they had encountered while traveling.
What did it say? I'm very curious.
Here it comes. Today, let me introduce the top 5 problems that travelers face when they come to Japan. This survey is conducted annually by the government to understand the challenges that foreign tourists visiting Japan face during their trips, and the survey period this time is from November 2023 to February 2024. Now, in fifth place. Fifth place is the use of public transportation with 12.8%. It seems that many foreign visitors to Japan find it inconvenient to use public transportation such as trains and buses.
Really? I don't think there is any country where public transportation operates as punctual as Japan.
It's not a matter of time. It's because in the big city, train transfers are complicated and confusing for them.
Ah, I see. Even Japanese people indeed get lost at the Shinjuku station, which has 1.2 million users a day. Osaka station is also compared to a maze or a dungeon system.
I also got lost in the maze of Osaka. I thought I would never be able to get out. In fourth place was the lack of multilingual signs, with 30.4% of respondents saying that. In recent years, signs in English, Chinese, and Korean have been increasing. But many tourist destinations still lack sufficient signs in foreign languages.
However, I see many foreigners translating Japanese using their smartphones. Some things can certainly be solved with technology.
That's true. However, just as we feel reassured when we find signs in Japanese abroad, foreign visitors to Japan probably feel reassured when they see signs in their native languages.
Bad. If you are in Japan and there are signs in foreign languages everywhere, you won't feel like you're in Japan, even though you're traveling.
You have a point. It's difficult to balance convenience with the country's unique character. A French acquaintance of mine was very disappointed when he went to a tourist destination in Japan and only heard another Asian language instead of Japanese. And the signs were not in Japanese because he had studied Japanese for many years in his home country.
It was a great opportunity to learn Japanese, but this is quite a complex program.
The third place was communication programs with facility staff with 22.5%. Considering the further expansion of the tourism industry, it is important that the staff at the tourist facilities can communicate smoothly with foreigners.
The number of staff who can speak foreign languages fluently is increasing. The number of foreign workers working at the tourist facilities is also increasing.
Yes, and I often see staff using translation apps while talking at hotels and shops.
This is just my personal opinion, but I don't think it's good to take it for granted that the staff can speak foreign languages. If you are going overseas, it's important to try to communicate with the locals some way, somehow. I saw a video on YouTube of a traveler making fun of Japanese staff who can only speak Japanese. I felt sad.
If possible, I'd like them to at least learn some simple greetings before coming to Japan, or research about our culture and societal values. That is the basis of communication between people. Next up in second place. The second place is nothing.
What? There's no survey?
No, they have never had any programs. That's 29.7%.
That's surprising.
It could also be seen as proof that measures to attract inbound tourists to Japan have progressed.
It would be a bit sad if there were no programs. After all, trouble is inevitable when traveling.
That's asking for too much.
So, what's the first place?
The first place is the lack of trash cans at 30.1%.
What? Trash cans?
I was surprised by this result too. There are very few trash cans in public places, and it seems that many people have trouble finding a place to throw away their trash.
Why not just take your trash home with you? Do you really have that much trash while walking around?
As for natives, it's a norm, so we don't think too much of it. If there are trash cans everywhere, the areas around them would get dirty, which would be unsanitary, and it would cost labor to collect the trash. As for installing more trash cans, it's difficult at the moment due to anti-terrorism and crime prevention reasons.
Wow, those are some pretty interesting results.
There are some points that locals didn't notice. By the way, one thing has changed significantly compared to 5 years ago. Free Wi-Fi has become much more widespread. Wi-Fi is now commonly provided in hotels and restaurants, and tourists can easily access the internet, which has greatly contributed to improving convenience for tourists.
That's true. There are more places where you can use Wi-Fi.
We have an environment where you can quickly get the information you need while traveling.
That's a a great thing. Convenience is king.
However, since many people use their smartphones to look things up often, their chances to talk to locals will significantly decrease. In the past, people often asked me for directions, but now everyone just looks at their smartphones.
That's kind of sad. If one thing goes too well, the other thing will go wrong. That's life.
Piko is such a philosopher.